I had me in the wedge. Can you turn it up a little bit? Who is this? Asked me about my band trailer for...
Need members.
Can I ask you about your band trailer?
Yeah, we just put out a song the other day. That's about it. And we also need members.
Need members. Anybody want to be in a trailer?
I grew up in a trailer.
Sure, yeah.
I'll be your
What's your question?
So I got one. I got a couple. Can you say hi to my friend Sophia from New York?
Hi, Sophia from New York.
Okay, she loves you. And also, for all of you, what advice would you give for a musician or a band just starting out?
What'd you guess?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on how you want your career to go. You know, do you want to perform music? Do you want to make a living and have longevity? And that's kind of how you gauge your career. With the creation of social media, I think that's a really big platform to get your creative music out to the masses all over the world and develop a fan base that way. But you know, if you just want to perform at the local coffee shop, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, gauge your career like that. Work on great music. You know, invite your friends and family and stuff like that. But if you want to go international and something like that, there is a business aspect, so learning a lot about that. And in addition to creating great music, I think that the more you know about the industry and research about it, you know, it'll help give you longevity in the long run.
See, that's a great fucking answer.
Thanks, dude.
Now go do it. All right, who's next?
Hello,
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Me too.
So I have a question and a comment.
Give me the comment first.
Okay. So the comment is, I have always loved singing, and the first time I ever saw you guys, which actually was here,
Okay, we're always here.
it made me realize that's definitely what I want to do.
Awesome.
Seeing you and Dark Divine, it kind of changed my life and
That's
made
awesome.
me realize that's definitely what I want to do. And this is actually the third time I'm seeing you
Okay.
because I've kind of become a little obsessed with
That's
your
okay.
music because it's really impacted me. Oh yeah, and my question. This is actually for James and Jake. How did you become friends? Because I know from listening to Andy's book, you guys were friends before joining Black Veil Brides.
Yeah, I can tell the story. So basically, I moved to Los Angeles in 2006, and I was kind of trying to put a band together. I had written and recorded all these songs and was making demos. I was learning a little bit about music production. I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, just recording, writing whatever came out of my head. And randomly this guy hit me up that was kind of like I guess you would call it a mutual friend, maybe not a friend, but somebody that we both knew, but we didn't know each other. And he hit me up one time and was like, hey, would you want to come over and co-write some songs with me and somebody that was in a band with him at the time? And I was like, yeah, sure. And Lonnie, I'll show my age here now too. I burnt a CD with my demos on them. And he hit me up, and I put the CD in, and it was actually songs that are on Set the World on Fire now. It was like Love's No Is Fair, New Religion. And I played it for this guy, and he's like, holy shit, I gotta introduce you to this guy, Jinx. You guys would be scary together. So literally that night, I was like, okay, so do it. And he called him up, and we met in Hollywood, California, and I brought some earbuds and played it for him, and he's like, dude, fuck yeah.
It was on his iPod. You guys remember
Yeah,
that?
it was an iPod. This was in
At some point, we're gonna start talking about Betamax tapes.
this was in what, 2008?
LimeWire.
2008?
2009. 2009. Oh, no, yeah. No, it was early 2009.
Was it early 2000?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I actually got kicked out of my band because I started jamming with him.
No, it was with ZZ too.
Well, yeah. Hey.
Are you gonna fight?
Well, okay, to continue, so I met Jake this one night. There's actually a photo of it on the internet somewhere, but and I have earbuds in, and I'm listening to these tracks, and I'm like, holy shit, fuck my band. I want to do that.
That's literally
So we just started. I was bored. I was in this touring band called Dreaming, and it just did run its course, and I had a great time with those guys and everything. But it was just like I wanted to do what I was hearing in those earbuds. Like, okay, And so
You came over to my
Yeah.
place the next
the
day.
next day, and I was like, okay,
And we were like learning it.
yeah, and then I don't know, CC came along very short after that because you knew him. Well, go on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you were very short.
Yeah.
Well, I was selling oranges by the freeway, and then I gave you guys.
Wait, what? I can't hear
Figure out how to
you.
play drums now. Ah, shit.
Not used to using a microphone.
No, definitely not. We actually, Jake and I had a mutual producer back in the day. I was in a previous band as well, and he said the same thing. It was like you and you together would be like unimaginable. And we kind of looked at each other and were like laughing, like, "Oh, that'd be awesome, one day." So then they meet, and they're like, "Hey, like we got the guy." So then the three of us started playing, and it was, again, just like what you heard. I heard what was going on. I was like, "Holy shit, this is gnarly! How am I gonna learn how to play this fast shit?" Like,
Yeah,
oh
well,
my
the
god.
funny thing is, so Jinx was still in his other band, and they had a rehearsal space in downtown LA. And he's like, yeah, come over, let's set up our shit and like rehearse these songs. And
My drummer walked in one night.
yeah.
Walked
While
in.
we were playing like probably
Drunk kid, like
religion or
that
something.
set up, and it's just like, what the fuck? Walks out. Next day, I get an email like, okay, hey guys, so I'm out of my band now, so that was that.
Yeah.
How is this around the time that you guys saw me at a house party trying to fight the police?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
we
about
were
the same.
writing. What was the song we were writing that night? That we.
Before I knew you guys.
It was on. Wait, it was on Set the World on Fire, right?
I don't know, it might have been Restitch.
Okay.
I
Anyway.
don't know, it might have been like Heaven's Calling or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I was putting together an early version of Black Veil in LA.
Children Surrendered. That's what it was.
Would have been 18 at the time, and somebody coaxed me. I'm not a big partier, but somebody coaxed me to go to a party, and I got really drunk and I tried to fight all the pool toys. Unbeknownst to me, these guys were at that party and they saw the giraffe person fighting the.
First time I ever saw Andy, he was kicking a beach ball into a pool.
And then shortly after that, we all came together. And what's actually funny, people don't know this, is in some cases on We Stitch These Wounds, because all those demos. What the fuck?
What was that?
Oh, that was your art. In some cases on We Stitch These Wounds, there were. Please don't. I'm gonna say it one more time. In some cases, on We Stitch These Wounds, because they had already, you want to, Connor? They had already written a certain number of musical pieces, right, that didn't have, or at the time the band they were in had a full different melody and lyrics on it. And we found out very quickly once Jake and came into the fold and we were all working together that a lot of the stuff that I had written before we could actually just put on top of their songs. So I think We Stitch These Wounds.
Restitch's Wounds was crazy.
If there's a few words, literally just a melody I had already written, lyrics, and just plopped it on top of their song, and that's what it became. And then in other cases, there were songs. I think the first time I met Jake, he played what ultimately became Ritual for me. That was one of the first things I heard. So they had built up such a huge amount of musical pieces that really it wasn't until Wretched and Divine that we had to start writing from scratch. Both of those first two records were really riffs that were full, in some cases full compositions that they had already done that I was just writing lyrics on top of. Next question.